welcome to Podcast versus Player episode 324. I'm one of your hosts, Callan, as always. I'm joined by a man who told me during the England versus Argentina game he hadn't been that nervous about a semi since he watched Brokeback Mountain. Tony Bloody Dan.
Hello, Callum.
Hello. I just want to point out, Dan, you can't see because the camera's moved, but it's 26 degrees in this room.
Well, I feel your pain, my friend.
It is very hot
when it's been over 25 degrees and it ain't fucking pleasant.
It's not nice. It's very muggy, and it's really annoying because it's been raining. So
it has. That's the first proper rain I've seen in several weeks. It didn't last very long though.
No,
it only lasted like a couple of hours. But there's unfortunately, I was in the Cotswolds last week, and the amount of just like clearly what were like beautiful like grassy like pavements and that kind of stuff, dead, everything dead.
Yeah.
Like I mean, it was still like quite a lovely kind of yellow, frankly, like a lovely shade of yellow. But I was just like, God, if there's just a bit of rain, these would probably be even more beautiful than it actually is.
We took out the drone at the weekend, and we were down by the fields, and there were so many like crops that just clearly just not had a fucking chance in hell.
I know, man. It sucks, doesn't it?
It does. But yeah, nice suntan. Speaking of suntans, Dan, I went to Thorpe Park on Monday, last Monday, and we'd sun creamed up and everything. And then I can't remember the name of the ride, but it's like a water ride, and it's really, really fast. And then you come down and you hit the water and it comes over you, but you don't get wet. And you're just like, whoa, that's really cool. And then the water just falls on you. And then pretty sure it just washed the sun cream off. And then I got some...
like a mist.
No, it's like full water. But obviously the angle and the speed that it hits it just goes up in the air really fucking slow. And then it just falls on you.
Oh, I see.
Really, really cool. But we got absolutely fucking soaked. And then later on, obviously we come home, and later on, I noticed I got sunburn on my forehead, but not in the middle, just at the sides.
Well, like you.
Yeah, but both sides. It's fucking bizarre. And a random bit on my hand.
Just like sweat, just sort of like washing away slowly.
It was, I can't actually remember any other time I've ever been sunburnt. I obviously have.
I was stood in a queue for a couple of hours last week, and it was like, I don't know, 28 degrees or whatever it was when we were outside. And I'd suntanned myself, but I'd not got like the sides of my neck. Ooh. So like it was just like a block, just sort of like here and here. They just caught it. They weren't too bad, luckily, because I did sort of reapply a bit later on, but it was enough to just be out. Like my friend who I was with, you could just almost watch his face just getting redder and redder.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was real bad because he thought he'd be all right. And then we just stood outside, literally just outside for two. Like he had to he kept on like sort of turning around as well, so he was sort of like
even in and out.
Yeah, so he just wasn't like burned down one side like Two-Face. But yeah, like the rain today has not really broken the heat. It's just made it humid and awful.
Yeah,
because it was like on the train, I was just sort of like clammy and wet. So don't worry, that's our customary whinging about the weather over.
It is, weather is done.
September, and it gets fucking cold again, and we all stop moaning about that instead.
I do want to just interject though before we move on. Thorpe Park, if you're listening, because I know the owner of like Merlin Entertainment, whatever it is. The longest queue, queues was fine. I don't know if you've ever been to Thorpe Park, Dan, but
I have not actually.
It's about a 3-hour drive. Got there, and the longest queue we did was getting in. Which is about an hour and a half, because you get searched before you go in, which is a good thing because they're like searching for like knives and weapons and other stuff. But it's belts off kind of search, like go through fucking everything.
What goes on in Thorpe Park for it?
Well, yeah, I assume something must have happened prior for them to do it. They got like 7 stations set up. I said to the bloke, I'd put my belt on. He told me to take my belt off and stuff. Did that. I had to open my vape up and everything to show what's inside the bag that we had with drinks and stuff in. And he was going through the stuff and I was like, can you hurry this up, mate? Because my trousers are falling down. He was like, oh, yeah, and just give me my belt back and put it on. But that was the longest queue we did. That was about an hour and a half. we took Logan and his best mate, and after a couple of rides, they were like, we're quite hungry. And I was like, well, we'll go and get a hot dog because there's a hot dog thing over there. £12.49 for a hot dog. And I went,
Just on
fuck
its
no.
own?
Yeah, and if you wanted cheese, it was an extra £1.
I'd have brought my own cheese.
I looked at the thing and I was like, this better be a good hot dog. And the people, there was like 3 people in front of us, and the person at the front got theirs and turned round, and it looked no better than an IKEA hot dog. And I went,
flop dog.
fuck, yeah, I was just like, fuck no. There's Zickle, because that would have been me, Logan, and his mate, to $12.49
pushing
each.
50 quid.
Yeah, just for 3 hot dogs. And then I've got to go somewhere else to get something for Zoe. So I went, right, fuck it, KFC.
You can just have the bread.
We just went KFC and she had some chips from there.
That's right. Unless you'd have to buy one and then a buy each. That's the only way it would make any sense.
But if it was like this big, well, you can't see me with the hand, but if it was this big, fair enough. But like I say, it was just a normal size little hot dog. It was fucking outrageous. So if you're listening, fuck you. I'll bring my own hot dog next time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got stuff to talk about, Dan.
Yes.
And this is normally where we'd slap in the news jingle, but it's not news per se, so I'm just going to do this.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can.
There we go.
I wonder what this
Spider-Man.
could be about.
Spider-Man Brand New Day. We've both seen it. If
Yes.
you haven't seen it, there will be spoilers, but we'll try not to touch them straight away. This is interesting news, though, Dan. Spider-Man Brand New Day has smashed records, crossing 1 billion globally in just 6 days.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think that is? Because that's outperformed the other 2.
I assume people just love some Tom Holland.
Well, I can't disagree.
I think the Odyssey's done very well as well. I'm not sure on what the actual box office is, but I've heard very good things.
Yeah, I've been meaning to watch that. I like Chris Nolan stuff anyway, usually. But this is... I don't want it to just be sort of like everyone says it's amazing because everyone else says it's amazing.
Yeah.
So they're sort of caught in the... yeah, well, I can't say it's not good because then, if I didn't get it, I don't want to be the odd one out.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting it to be like, oh my God, it's like this cinematic masterpiece. But again, I really like his work, so I'd like to think that it's going to be just a really good movie. But with the Marvel movies being sort of relatively hit and miss over the last 5 or 6 years, and kind of trying to find their way back onto a path that they like, there's, I don't know, I mean, are we about 50-50 maybe in terms of what's been good, what's been bad, in terms of shows, in terms of...
What, Spider-Man or just Marvel in general?
In general. I mean, this is more Sony more than anything, isn't it? So it's like Sony and Columbia, I think? Or...
No, they produce it. It's made by Disney. And
Right,
so
okay,
basically, the deal being Disney do all of the work, Sony do all of the marketing, and they get to reap the benefits of it. It's a Sony film, but it's not a Sony film. Which
Fair
you can tell because all of the Spider-Man films are good, and none of the Sony films are.
Well, that's not true.
Don't say Spider-Verse, because that's not made by them. It's made by a different company.
No. Spider-Man 2 was great.
That's not Sony, though. Oh, it was Sony. No, sorry, I was butchering it in with Fox. But yeah,
No, Fox is no Fox.
no,
is
that was my mistake. But
Yeah.
I'll fight anybody on the hill. Spider-Man 2 is a great film, but it's pure rose-tinted spectacles. The whole Raimi trilogy. Spider-Man 2 is the best one of the 3 by far.
Yes. No, I'm not saying that is better than like Homecoming or Spider-Verse or anything like that. Spider-Verse is still the best of all of them so far.
Yeah, easily.
But it's almost as if you can't put. It's weird. It's the same character, but you almost can't put them up against each other because you're like, there's a million excuses as to why this one's actually not as good as the others. But the trilogy for the Disney ones, because I know that they've had different directors and stuff, but even though they don't have necessarily the same crew working with them and the same writers and stuff, they're still hitting the same kind of marks. Like they're interesting for their own particular reasons. And I really liked this one.
I loved it.
I genuinely did. I really, really enjoyed it. There's so little about it that I'd just be like, eh. I mean, there's a couple of bits that I'll moan about because that's all we do, really. Is about stuff.
We're British.
But it's always with a caveat of everything is great about it, but I don't just want to sort of like sit here and suck something's dick for 20 minutes.
No, it's not perfect by any means.
No, but it's more like I'd like to think that the negativity is more personal preference rather than it's just poorly made, because then you're trying to make an argument that a lot of people that's a clickbait kind of thing where you're just sort of like, well, actually, I think it's the worst film imaginable, and I'll tell you why. Ridiculous reasons. But the best thing I can do is say I really, really enjoyed it. I'd watch it again happily.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a couple of bits in it where I'm just sort of like, oof, I don't know why you did that.
I'm still undecided. I loved it. Like, there's no questions about it. I really enjoyed it. I think it is better than No Way Home. I think the biggest draw of No Way Home is seeing the 3 Spider-Men together.
Yeah.
And
all the villains together.
Yeah, like getting all those, if you like, but when you actually put it on paper, it's a very thin premise.
Yeah, there's a lot of fan service that's
it's still great
together, but it's not on the nose enough to be like, all right, yeah, God, yeah, we get it. You're in yeah, all right, we get it. You know, you're a villain in the Spider-Man. Yeah, fine. It doesn't seem like it's milking it. It's just built around that as the base.
Exactly. And it does work.
This does seem like it's its own separate story from everything that's not reliant on everything that's happened before.
Yeah.
Outside of the memory wipe that was in the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, overall, did you have a real good time with it, or was it just sort of like, you know what, I'll wait until it comes out on Disney Plus? Would you go back to the cinema and watch it again?
I mean, I probably would. Like, not. Yes and no. Yes, I'd happily go back and watch it in the cinema. I had a great time. Negatives being, my showing was at 9 a.m. because it was the only one that had 3 seats together.
Fucking hell.
So we're like, right, looks like it's 9 o'clock in the morning then. So
wake up, everyone.
That annoyed me. I mean, that's what I was like. Them they were bouncing off the walls because they're very much mornings people. But,
yeah, I'm not. I couldn't do that.
And the cinema is really fucking expensive. So that's like the 6th time this year I've been to the cinema. I'm getting close to getting broke down. So they're the reasons why, no, I wouldn't. Film-wise, 100%. Like, I really enjoyed it. And I get those... shall we just jump straight in, whether there's spoilers or not?
Sure.
Yeah. So I think this is the best, worst-looking suit. I think it's the best. I think it's my favourite, but I like it because it's clearly Lycra.
I don't like this one. I like his web shooters to some degree because they seem a bit more sort of streamlined and a bit more thought through, and it feels like it's it's build on build on build. But there was just something about the suit when I was watching it. I was just sort of like, ugh.
The only thing I didn't like was the ears. You can see his ears.
Well, to be fair, I did actually see something online today that made me think, because there's there's no like face sculpting inside the mask, and someone had put and said because there's literally a portrait view side by side from like the last suit or the Homecoming suit, and then this one, and like his chin is just sort of like it looks it just looks like a face profile in a mask.
Yeah.
And there was someone saying, people are whinging about this, but one looks like it's made for anonymity, and the other looks like he's made it himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, yeah, if you take the anonymity away from it, that's not a problem he's thinking about anymore, and he's put it together himself rather than Tony Stark and infinite resources.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Then, yeah, it kind of makes sense. So if that's what they're going for, that this is just supposed to be a bit more of it's as good as an average person could make with just sort of the bits and pieces he's got at home, then, yeah, it looks great.
But that's what it was at the end of No Way Home. Like, he had all the textiles and the sewing machine and stuff in the apartment.
Yeah. Which is, again, and that's the idea, then that's fine. But then Garfield was supposed to have made his own suit as well. And that suit looks way better than that one.
It does, but I'd argue that, they did, and I still think the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, I think that's my favourite Spider-Man suit.
I think I genuinely
really
I think
like
you it. You might be right. Whenever I'm playing like the Insomniac Spider-Man, that's usually kind of my go-to.
Yeah, it's a great looking suit.
I really like the look of it. Yeah,
but they also dove very heavily into he's researching the different materials, and it's like the aerodynamics of this, like, because it's like some sports like suit thing, isn't it? When he's buying it online,
it's like a ski suit or something,
yeah,
or like a base jumping suit. But but in my own headcanon, I'm just sort of like, well, he's too busy fighting crime, so he's not going to be thinking about those kinds of details. As long as it's functional, as long as he can put it on, it's not all nanotech or whatever. He's made it himself. Then I've got nothing against it. It's just, of all of them, it's probably not my favourite, but that's not to say that it's a poor attempt.
No. Like I say,
it's in a different method, you know.
I do like it, and I think it is a good example of a good bad suit, and the bad being it is a homemade suit. It's still far better than we could make of a suit, so it's not like it's a DIY
I also couldn't
thing.
make the web shooters or the fluid or anything else.
Exactly,
Couldn't do any of that.
But can you imagine if they did do that? And like, it's the end of No Way Home, and it shows you some materials and the sewing machine, and he's like swinging out the window, but it's just an absolute dog shit. Like
a patchwork quilt.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
it's just like stapled together. That'd be amazing.
I've got some questions though. Firstly, what's his source of income?
Well, I saw a very similar question, and I've started talking and I've already forgotten the answer to it, but there was something to do with it's to do with something that he does, and that's obviously you can pay for stuff. Leave it with me. I'll either edit it in, it'll just be like, oh, it's future Cal, I've remembered what I meant, or it'll come to me while we're talking and I'll just go, oh, blah,
okay,
blah.
fine.
But there was like, and it's not like it's answered in the film, it's just someone's gone, it's probably this, and you go, oh yeah, that probably makes a bit of sense, but I can't for the life of me think what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, he's not exactly living in luxury or anything like that. So I mean, if he was just sort of like on an Avengers budget, where they're just sort of like, look, you can't doing good work, so we'll give you a minimal amount of.
He's not an Avenger anymore, is he?
Ticking over. No, but I just mean as in like.
Oh, back in the day.
You're still operating in the city. We're not just forgetting about you. So
well, they are. That was the point of the spell.
Oh yeah. Well then, I don't know. Yeah,
So
he'd have to be.
Could it be something like Tony's just left him a card and just said, if you have financial issues, use this card?
Maybe, but
Well, he's Aunt
in
May.
control of Stark Industries.
Maybe Aunt May had a load of money. She's left it to him.
Yeah. It's a life insurance policy paid out.
Yeah, she had no OnlyFans or something, hadn't it? Happy Hogan's still around as well. And obviously, just because he's forgotten who Peter is, that doesn't necessarily mean he's forgotten who May is. And then after May's died,
He's looking after him.
maybe. Just as
because he wasn't taking any pictures, so it's not as if he's doing photography work for the Bugle. There's no JJ in this.
Could be OnlyFans. Spider fans.
Yeah, OnlyWebs.
OnlyWebs. It could even be something stupid like that. You know, like real life Comic Cons. Like if you William Shatner's at a Comic Con and you want a photo, you have to pay X amount of money. He's just attending Comic Cons as Spider, not the Spider-Man.
If he endorsed like the Spider Tracker app thing and just said, people just make donations because, this is all he does and he's poor. Can you, if anyone donates after you saved your life as like a tip, then that's what keeps the spider suits coming.
I mean, it's equally though, like if you look back at Homecoming, all the stuff he was making, he was like taking like DVD players and VCRs and stuff out of the dumpster and putting stuff together. So it's not even out of the realms of possibility that, screens aside, all of the stuff could have just come out of the trash.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, how's he paying his rent?
In general, yeah.
Like that ain't cheap, regardless.
Yeah, especially because they've moved him into that loft thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that because he's just sort of like. Also, the silver cup or whatever it is Was that not from Madam Web as well? Like the big neon signs that when he's talking to MJ.
I completely missed that.
I can't quite remember. I just remember because that in Madam Web they're fighting on a big neon sign.
Yeah,
and he sort
wasn't
of,
that like
squishes him or something?
Wasn't that Pepsi or something though?
Oh, maybe it was. I don't know. I just remember a big neon sign in it. I was sort of like, oh, is that the same building like rooftop? Like that would be a hell of a cameo. She popped up.
It could be a real building though.
Oh, that's also true. Yeah,
because it was still in like New York, wasn't it?
Yeah. I suppose it wouldn't have mattered. It's not exactly people web swinging around all over the place, was it?
No, what I do want to bring up though, Dan, podcast First Player, episode 311, published in March, and I said, Sadie Sink, I reckon she's Jean Grey, and you were like, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you even think that?
Yeah.
I did think it, Dan.
There's still no rhyme or reason for it.
I mean, I did some research on this, Dan, and I was incorrect with my original research because I was going to say the X-Men showed up in the Spider-Man cartoon before their cartoon. That was incorrect. That was a lie. The X-Men actually came out before the Spider-Man cartoon did. It was like 92 and 95, something like that. However, what I was actually thinking of is the original X-Men, including Jean Grey, first made a guest appearance, like animation-wise, in 1982's Amazing Friends. Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends.
Yeah. Right.
So they've already had that crossover introduction, like, of characters
30 years ago. And you think that's enough of a ridiculous.
What they're doing.
The Punisher being in it is one of the things where you just go, well, he was introduced in Spider-Man. It makes sense. It's also like, oh, why have they not put him in sooner? That's an easy one to make the connection on. But
you could also argue and just go, where's Daredevil then? We know he's in prison, but
well, potentially, yeah. We don't know quite where he is at this point.
Well, this is 4 years, isn't it? So he'll be 4 years into his however many years stint.
I don't know because Born Again only finished this year, didn't it? Or last year?
Yeah, but this is 4 years after. Oh no, this is 4 years after the last one. So the last one is obviously
Born
before.
Again it would have happened between then, surely.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I sort of said I got that bit wrong.
Okay. But I mean, because as with any of these sort of things, once I've seen the trailer and I go, cool, I'm excited for that, I'm going to go watch that. That's usually where I tune out because I'm just sort of like, I don't want anything. I don't want these little theories because some of them, are, it's kind of like a no smoke without fire. Some of them seem fantastical, and then you go, oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? And then it happens, and you're like, oh, well, okay, well, it feels a bit less impactful now because it was a mad theory, but clearly it was come from somewhere. It literally it wasn't until they were sort of like, it was like, oh, well, yeah, we've got a face match, blah, 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 Jean Grey, and I was like, what? I wouldn't have called that in 100 years. What are you on about? So I love the fact that it was her because, I mean, that it also asks more questions than it answers, I suppose, in a lot of ways. But she played it great as well, by the way. If she's going to be the new Jean Grey, cool. Love it.
Yeah.
But then the question is, does that mean then that all of the other mutants are just all mooching around?
Well, I mean, I'd said on the podcast episode, I was going to put a clip in to play it, but fuck it. But I'd said that because we'd done the same because I think this was one of the very few films where we both watched the first trailer and was like, that's enough. Like, I'm not going because normally I'll watch a couple of them and then leave it towards the end. But for this one, it was just the first trailer. And like I said on episode 311, she got red hair. So that was one of my biggest things for it is she's young, then get 10 films out of her. She's popular. She's a good actress, and she does. But then you could just be like,
"Oh, she's, it's Black Widow from the past."
No.
But recast like anyone with red hair. It could just be anything, couldn't it?
That wasn't the sole thing. Like it was obviously you see like jumping between people, which might not have even been her. Trailers can play the old switcheroo. So it makes you think
Yeah,
that
that
it's
could
going
have
to
been
be
like a CG thing jumping on.
exactly.
They just,
yeah. Could have been anything, but that was my assumption. But biggest one being, obviously, which you see in all of the like it's in the film, but obviously it's in the original trailer. He's going Spider-Man like Deadpool. He's a mutate, so
Yes.
it's a power he's been given rather than he's born with, like a mutant. But because I thought we were going to go down the man spider route, and he was going to wake up with fucking 6 arms and 2 legs. And
well, yes, sorry, 6 arms, yeah.
But we didn't. But once he gets to that stage, dependent on the writer, he qualifies as a mutant because it's that part of him is fully taken over. So it's in terms of kind of like shoehorning mutants into it, you could do it that way. And as good as the film did a great job with all of it, however, it doesn't. The thing that they're going to struggle with, and I think they've clearly gone, well, how can we do this? And they've made some ideas, and they've already planned X far ahead, and we're going to have the X-Men film in 28. But Jean is typically Charles's first student. That's normally how whether it's the movies, the animated show, the comic, like wherever you're going with it. But Charles already needs to be a mutant.
Exactly. But the mutants need to have been around forever. That's the point. So it makes sense to me that if they go, okay, well, they are an organization like Damage Control clearly is being co-opted by this new chappie. Maybe there's just, as long as there's been mutants, there's been ancient organizations that are just getting rid of them.
Yeah.
So, they're very good at identifying a mutant, and before they can sort of team up and,
do something,
get to know each other and find a school or whatever, they're taken, experimented on, and blah, blah, blah. So the fact that she's been shown as being a part of it, because clearly, again, it's an organization that they took a sister, from the park, just kidnapped in the park, no consequence.
Was Spider-Man then?
Well, they got out very quickly, so I imagine that there's probably all that sort of shit that's going on all the time. Or you just wait until they're all off planet somewhere doing something and go, right, go and kidnap all the mutants quick, and we'll put them all in a bin. So that means that either they are just sort of like a scattered populace that don't even realise maybe that they are what they, they're just sort of like, oh, maybe I'm like a super powered person like the others. Because clearly, like when they're going into Damage Control and he's scanned and he's like, enhanced human detected.
Yeah.
So what if that's sort of like the basis for like Sentinels and stuff like that? It's just they've got like a mutant scanner that they can just pick him out from half a mile away.
That's effectively what he's made, though, isn't it? So when he goes to see Banner, and he's just like, how do you stay Banner and not turn into the Hulk? And he's like, I forgot what he called it, but I've made this device.
It's an inhibitor, isn't it?
Yeah, and then just him telling him. And then Parker fucks off and makes an even better one, and it's even smaller. And this one works on anybody, not just the Hulk. So now Damage Control have got that, because obviously he gave it to them for Jean. Do you think that in this universe, Department of Damage Control will be the ones who make the mutant suppressed collars?
Probably. That makes sense. Like it's clearly they're targeting them for either research purposes. So I mean, you could write it off as research, but they're clearly they're not bothered if they kill them in the middle of whatever it is they're doing.
Yeah.
So then you could say, well, this Metzger, what if this is sort of like a new Mr. Sinister? Like he's just sort of like trying to collect mutant powers or whatever. But then again, that means that you're right, that like they still need to exist. And they still need to be aware of who they are and what they are. So you'd be starting from scratch, in essence. But, like, Doctor Strange has met mutants.
Yeah.
Like, so it wouldn't be the first person. Like, and if he goes, okay, well, there's these people in this universe. You telling me that when he got back from the weird Illuminati thing, that he wouldn't go, probably should just look these people up, just on the off chance that maybe they're still in my universe. Somewhere.
Kamala Khan.
And Kamala's well, she's a mutate as well, though, isn't she? No,
it's mutant. They clarify.
She's a mutant.
And Neymar.
But Neymar's a mutant, yeah.
No, Neymar. He's a footballer. Neymar, I meant.
Yeah. But she only gets her powers activated when she's got the bangle, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's fine. But do you see what I mean? They're not sort of like looked up by the X-Men. They're not sort of coming around knocking on doors saying, hey, we know you're a mutant.
There is a start, though, where... So Xavier doesn't set out to make an X-Men team. The school is originally there to teach them not to use the powers, to keep them under the radar. And then, obviously, after a certain while, he's like, we need a team of superheroes, basically. And then that's where the X-Men starts. So it might be going down that route where the Xavier's Institute, it already exists, and there's already students there, but... It's under the radar because he's teaching them how to not use the powers.
Well, maybe that's it. Like, maybe he's like a researcher that actually works for this damage control or something like that. So he's trying to work it from the inside. So he knows he's a mutant and he can try and do some good or something. And that also gives him access to everyone that they're tracking, if that was the case. But also, wasn't damage control started by Tony Stark as well to like mop up after all the Avengers shit?
I don't think I think it was already like an established company, and Tony Stark basically payrolled it because he went, that makes sense, yeah, like a cleanup crew, we need that, blah, blah, blah. But in no part of the MCU has damage control been shown to be the good guys.
Right.
So then, especially with everything that's already been going on, and then Mysterio and all them, they were all part of the Tony Stark saga and everything else. Obviously, Vulture was part of the original lineup for damage control, Department of Damage Control. And it just seems weird that Spider-Man now works for them.
Or at least he's okay with them.
And plus, you haven't watched Wonder Man, have you?
No, not yet.
No. So there a big thing in that, and a lot of it does. I'm going to say it ties into Spider-Man, but not. Okay. You don't need to watch Wonder Man for it. Like, I don't mean anything like that. But what they're doing in Wonder Man is what they're doing with Jean. So,
okay.
Like, they are. It's not a spoiler. It doesn't spoil anything. The whole premise of Wonder Man. Well, the whole premise of Department of Damage Control in Wonder Man is to locate and capture enhanced individuals, lock them up in this big supermax prison. Otherwise, they won't get any more money and they'll be disbanded.
Ah, okay.
So they're not specifically I'm not going to spoil. You don't see the Beast, Beast from the X-Men isn't in there locked up or anything like that. But they're very clearly the bad guys in it, and they're very clearly operating the same here.
Maybe you're right then. So I mean, inadvertently, maybe I've kind of logically figured out that that's what they're doing without actually knowing it. But yeah, maybe I should watch that to.
It's really good. It's well worth watching.
Make it. I know you've told me to go and watch it, and I've been meaning to. But
it's been cancelled though.
Ironheart. Well, no, the season 2. Then it's cancelled.
No wonder they've been season 2 off.
As well?
Yeah, there was a thing. I saw a thing on Sunday.
They said they were doing it, but then it wasn't. That was going to be the last one. It was cancelled after season 2.
I'm sure I could be mistaken. Maybe but I'm sure I read on Sunday. It was cancelled. I took a screenshot of it because I sent it to Zoe because she was fucking fuming.
Okay.
Because we really enjoyed it. Marvel's Wonder Man cancelled despite season 2 renewal less than 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. So it was renewed and now it's binned.
Yeah.
It's silly. That's weird. And it's not committing to stuff.
But it's got 96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, that's the thing. They can't have anything too successful because as soon as it's successful, people want more and more and more of it. And they go, we can't maintain that level, so we'll bin it and we'll work on something that's middling, and that's the one that will get 4 seasons.
But this is very much like there's a handful of bits in it where you're like, oh, that must have been expensive. But 98% of it's talking. It's such a vastly different kind of Marvel. Like, that makes it sound really boring. It's not in the slightest. But it's a really good show. It's massive shame, a big disappointment on that. But because you mentioned his name, I won't tell you if you don't want to know, but there is Mr. Sinister casting rumours.
Interesting.
One name in particular.
Then, not this dude.
Well, I mean, Mr. Sinister can shapeshift, so he could theoretically be anybody until he's fully cast.
Well, that's convenient, isn't it, for a movie studio? Where they just go, well, if everything goes tits up, we can just say, well, actually, that was never me in the first place.
Exactly.
It was me all along.
I don't hate. Do you want to know the rumor?
I mean, yeah, rumors are rumors.
Adam Driver.
Ooh.
He's had some meetings with the old folks at Disney.
I'll tell you what, you put him in white makeup and weird lipstick and a big spooky pointy cape.
How accurate do you reckon we're going to get with it, though? Because it's a bit of a
it's a really silly
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, and I mean, he would stand out in a crowd. But there's also part of me that would just be like, but then you just go, okay, well, now we can line up 15 minutes of people taking the piss out of him when he goes, and now my true form. And everyone's like, oh, God, come on, mate.
Or he just shake it. He's Adam Driver's in it for like 15 minutes, and then he shapeshifts back into the guy from the Department of Damage Control.
Yeah, I mean, but then you could say, oh, well, it was all Skrulls all along. The Skrulls have gone back.
We're not going back to the Skrulls.
But that's still a thing. They're still out there.
They've given up on that. Every time you bring it up, Dan, it resets the clock again. They're like, God damn it!
Oh goodness. But yeah, I think that it's so Scorpion actually getting his Scorpion rig. Yeah, it was fine. It was just.
Where did he get it from, though?
I mean, I'm assuming that when he was busted out, they just went, "Here's your suit again, mate. Off you go."
Maybe. But also, you reckon he had it before that?
There's a couple of bits like that. Well, I don't know.
Because that's what he was on the boat for, wasn't it? Because he's on the boat to buy gear from Vulture in Homecoming.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, he's clearly already. He's got a version of it. So, but it was a bit too just exosuit, like rather than. I just want him in a weird, silly lycra suit with this giant.
I don't love that, but
and then he goes, and now here's my new cool one, and that's all robots. And but it's it was nice to see him, but yeah, he was clearly just not a match for any version of these Spider-Man. They'd all tear him apart.
That's the bit. Like, my biggest criticism with Scorpion is he is quite a challenging adversary with Spider-Man, and there's numerous times where especially when he's poisoned him and whatnot. But it's really good, My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon on Disney Plus, and he Scorpion he nearly kills him. He absolutely fucking destroys him, and in that, Norman Osborn is Tony Stark, and he's mentoring Peter, and he's like, you got it. Instead of Tony trying to make him a better version of Tony, Norman Osborn's just like, you've got to let go, you've got to stop pulling your punches, you got to fucking murder these fucking criminals, basically.
Yeah.
And he very nearly does, and I like that part of it. And you see a little bit of it in this, but obviously Scorpion's a very fleeting character in the film, so they get to see him fight, and then he basically nearly kills him, and then that's it done then.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It was good, but I kind of hoped for a little bit more. I mean, we've waited for this since Homecoming.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe you're right. It's just a bit disappointing because you go, oh, well, that was it, was it? Because there's part of me that, so he's like Ultra Mode, where he, his hormones, his DNA gets
hormones
up on the fly, because that's how DNA works. You need to see, like, so if Scorpion had, like, because I mean, he was beating him to some extent, but not to the point like where where he's fighting the hand, and they're just beating the bejesus out of him, and then he turns it on, and then it's all of a sudden they're nothing, and he's just swatting him away, and then he like boots through that door, and I was like, that's a great representation of like that like next level that he's got. Whereas I feel that with the Scorpion fight earlier on, he probably could have beaten him anyway. As soon as you web that fucking thing to the floor, he's buggered, didn't he?
But that they made a big deal about it though, where they go like, because that's what the like the montage was, where for the last 4 years there's been no Peter Parker, there's only been Spider-Man. There isn't a criminal in the city. There's no one's a threat to him anymore, and that worked. But then like when we see Scorpion, it's like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, he's clearly beating him already. Like,
he's dealt with much bigger threats than you at that point.
Yeah.
Like, if he'd have managed to, like, so he was fighting him, didn't expect the sting, and then goes, whoop, and got popped.
Yeah.
Then he's, like, on his back foot, and he's trying to figure out what the fuck to do, and he's getting the shit wrecked out of him. Then he goes into Ultra Mode, which, like, clears the poison out. And then he just, fucking... Then you'd be like, oh, goddamn, this is, like... it is the Venom suit effect, isn't it? It's him taking himself up a notch and not thinking about the consequences of what he's doing. But a part of it I did appreciate, though, is that he absolutely wrecks him, throws him into that police car, and he just flips it. And everyone didn't immediately go, he's a bad guy now. He's a bad guy. He did one bad thing. So he just gets that, like, detective or whatever. He just comes and goes, you can't do that again. Like, clearly there's something going on. Sort your shit out, because I'm not going to cover you if you do that again.
Yeah.
Like, you're on thin ice as it is. Everyone loves you, but you start flipping cop cars and shit. Well, it's bad
it was a
news.
good dynamic though, wasn't it? And like,
I do like that sort of, like, he's got a friend on the inside kind of deal.
It works. I mean, like, it's in the game. Like, you got Yuri in the games, and
I was hoping they'd do something similar to that. And it was going to be Yuri, but as soon as it was like DeWolf, and I was like, well, I don't recognise that as a name.
She's a big part in the comics.
Right.
There's not the woman, and this isn't like shaming anyone, but the woman playing her is a lot older than the character in the comics. So I don't know what angle they're going to go. She's not like a love interest or anything like that, but
no. But you also need people who are aged appropriately for that kind of pull.
Yeah.
Like if you've been a detective for 3 months and you think you can tell the police to back off Spider-Man, what are you on about?
I did like it because, like, even though like there was witnesses there, and at any point they could have turned around and be like, "The fuck are you doing, Spider-Man?" But like that, all he wanted was just like, have I killed anyone? Are they all right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she's just like, not yet. Also, when Spider-Man's going after Jean, when he knows the and stuff, and he's just like, you gotta stop, like, you haven't done anything that bad yet, you haven't killed anyone yet. When she was in, like, jumping between people, she had a bloke walk in front of a bus.
Did she?
Yeah. Now, he might not have died, but they hit him with some speed. Yeah, because he was an old fella.
I don't remember that. Maybe she knew who he was and he was a prick.
And she was shooting a tank everywhere. Was all of those buildings empty?
Everyone was fine. Don't worry about it.
Damage control had clean up.
I mean, I'm hoping that the poor old lady that was in that tank, she doesn't get prosecuted for any of this.
Well, that's a good, like, and I saw a thing, I think it was earlier on actually, but where Punisher says, like, how does she know how to no, I don't think it's Punisher, I think it's somebody else. How does she know how to drive a tank? But one of Jean's things is when she's like been in your mind, she's retained the memory. Yeah. So if as long as she's done it to someone that knows how to drive a tank, she knows how to drive a tank.
But that's the same with basically everyone that we've seen her take over, though, which is why she was trying to take over Spider-Man. Like, she's taking over the Hulk. She's, she doesn't go, oh my god, how does this work? When she takes over the hand, she's not going like, hiya. It's like, I've forgotten all my ninja moves. Like, it's like a hive mind thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
She's controlling them all simultaneously.
Also, why are they working for damage control?
I imagine there's some sort of like weird mind control psyop thing, or it's just sort of like they're a kill squad that's sent out.
Maybe. Oh, do you reckon they got Jean's sister to do it before she was gone?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know. I can't remember any other instance of me seeing that she had a sister.
Yeah. It's one of the. That's always one of the. She's always got a. Well, not always, but when she's puberty, she gets powers. But in the majority of the instances, it's the death of her sister that causes the trigger for it to like the second coming of powers. Gotcha. As we see in this, where she's got like 33 feet radius or something. Now it's all of New York, kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, that is a relatively.
Okay, no, that's fine.
I'm
not saying it was just sort of like, oh, why have you done this? I just didn't know that was a thing because it's just not been done in any of the other sort of live action media that they've done with her.
And all of the other ones though, she's already old. Not old. She's a lot older. She's not like a young kid, and even in the animated series, she's got to be like 20 something, hasn't she?
Yeah.
In the originals, obviously the live action ones, they were a lot old, like round about that age as well. Famke Janssen was a lot older than. Who was the bird that played? Who was the new one? Game of Thrones.
I think.
Yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Can't think of her last name, but yeah.
No, me either.
But they're already established by that point, and the new mutants that we get to see they're the new students coming into the school and whatnot. Yeah. Got to see big, massive Hulk though.
I tell you what.
Return to form.
Yeah, like that was just sort of like when he turns, like clearly he's just got like all this pent up anger or whatever for years and years, and he's just come out and then gotten bigger. Like that was always supposed to be a thing. The angrier he gets, it's not the stronger he gets, it's the bigger he gets, and therefore the stronger he is as a result. And when he just sort of like just turns and then he just goes blah, 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 and he's like, oh, like
I didn't know you could get that big.
Like, I was like, oh god, that is. I mean, he's a terrifyingly scary thing anyway. But then you go, how about another 4 feet of him? Like, yeah, that's even worse. But he looks insanely shredded.
Yeah,
like he looks ridiculous.
Looks like the Edward Norton one.
Yeah, it looks like he's been like supercharged.
He's been working out in Banner's mind. It's hitting them weights.
But yeah, like losing control. Christ, if that was the version that had gone like mad in Ultron, like that Stark suit wouldn't have fucking stood a chance. I mean, it barely did anyway.
Well, we needed that with Thanos.
Yeah. Where was he? He would have ripped it apart.
That's the Hulk we fucking needed. I need to beat Thor in Ragnarok.
But there's still an element though of sort of like, he's got all the. I love that, like that whole sequence of like them trying to go and rescue her. They go into damage control to rescue the bad guys, I guess. And she's. How did they cross paths? Where she was like, I know who I need the Hulk to come in and sort this out. That's
a good point. Why was he there?
But this goes back to my original sort of like, had his Scorpion get his suit. There's sort of a lot of they just did.
Yeah. Like, I mean, she might have took him there.
Well, yeah, presumably, yeah, or got him to carry her there. Who knows? Like, if she knew that she had to come in with like real firepower, he's probably on the university's internet site, isn't he? Professor Banner, blah blah blah. Yeah. Like clearly people know he's there, so it wouldn't be too. And plus, he's an accessible Avenger. Like she doesn't have to go through like an insane level of security or whatever to get to him.
Shouldn't need that.
Wait in the quad.
She hadn't been in Peter's brain, had she? I was going to say she would have known from Peter about the conversation and this inhibitor keeps me from hulking out and stuff, but she hasn't read his mind at this point.
No, but if she read his mind and she knows that that's what's
no. I was going to say like all she needed was that information, but I was going to say that's how she got it, but obviously she didn't get it from that way. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but him, like, yeah, I love that sort of like, wow, he can get even really, really big now. And again, this sort of like extra level that people have got. So like now we've seen Spider-Man's got an extra level, we've seen Jean's got an extra level, we've seen Banner's got an extra level. Where on earth was John Bernthald's extra level? That's what I want to know.
You see it at the end when he becomes Spider-Man.
When he dances around a bit. Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing, Punisher?
It was a good plan.
I mean, it was a good distraction, but he just... Why would he do it?
So
this isn't a nice guy.
He's just shot. He just nearly killed him.
I mean, yeah, fair enough. I'll be like, I'll tell you what. If that makes us even, I don't even feel bad about it. Then fine. Also, to be fair, outstanding shot.
Oh yeah.
But there's from like a kilometre away through a crack where you can't see anything. Like,
wasn't going for the headshot though.
The fact that he got it through the fucking hole in the wall.
No, the shot itself phenomenal. But like, even if Spider-Man hadn't got in the way, Spider-Man's only alive because she kept him alive, didn't it? So
yeah.
If it was the other way around, she'd have been dead because it was like a 50 caliber round, wasn't it?
Oh, to cross that distance, it'd be insanely powerful.
Yeah. So.
But my point was, when you're looking through his scope, you can't see anything. Like, there's just dust in the way. So how he managed to make that shot is ridiculous.
That's his level up. Better eyesight.
I'll tell you what, though.
It
takes some balls to know that you're going up against someone who can hot bodies and then going up against the Hulk. And you go, I'll take a machine gun and a couple of flashbangs, and yeah, I'll be all right. That's some balls, that is.
No rocket launcher.
Nah, fine. A couple of flashbangs and a machine gun that was going to run out of bullets. Sweet.
He's in Fortnite now, and he's showing it. This is all I need in the game. This is all I need in this.
Like literally, like that whole sequence there, like where they're sort of like they're teaming up, and like he zips him and like drags him across the floor, and he's like going under him and just sort of like doing this and shooting him in the face. Fantastic.
Worked really well together.
It's so silly, and like obviously he has to just sort of keep him off guard a bit, because if he gave him a second to engage, he's out that wall.
Yeah.
He's just paced against it.
Spider can take it, but Frank, it would be splattered.
Well, that's such a good line where it's just like, you're just trying to not fight the Hulk, aren't you? And he's like, well, yeah. I've got bullets, so what do you expect me to do? And I've already run out of those. Come on.
At least that's what Spy says, isn't it? He's just like, what do you expect to do, Frank? You're going to tickle him? Like, what?
Yeah, like you're going to tickle him to death, yeah. So, no, he doesn't kill anybody. Fine. He doesn't have like a rampage moment where he just sort of like, other than just sort of screaming while he's shooting him in the face.
But we knew that though, like, because the Hulk, like through the film, Hulk is the only death. Like, he's shooting to kill. He knows he's not going to kill him, but
yeah,
he's not. I'm not necessarily listening to Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's clearly had a little bit. They've had run-ins over these 4 years, presumably, because they're on. Like, he calls him Frank and everything else. So, I think they did a really good job of having an R-rated character in a... Is this a 12 film?
it might have been a 12.
12A, yeah. But they didn't seem to tone him down at all.
I mean, he shot 2 people in the leg. But that's Jean not trying to... Again, I can't remember about just running some dude over, but she's not actively trying to kill people, because clearly she could just keep hopping and throwing them all off buildings if she really wanted to. But like the VMAX thing is like a red herring. I thought was a really good thing, because then I was just sort of like, what is that? Like, what's that going to be a reference to? Is it some sort of mutant suppressant? Is it it's a door code, and it's all the mutants. They're all in stasis or whatever. What is it? And then it turns out it's nothing.
It's just air conditioning.
It's a label that's just on a thing, and I was like, oh, that's really good, because then there's not like another mystic power payoff or magic chemical or whatever. So like the whole story for this just felt a bit more rounded. I tell you what I fucking hate though. The Punisher's still the Punisher. He's got the skull. Why is he driving around in a van that's got his logo on the front of it?
Maybe somebody else painted it on there.
What the fuck is he playing at? He's clearly a mass murderer. Why is he advertising the fact that he's a mass murderer? Unless something has happened between the final kill or last, whatever it was.
Yeah, one last kill.
Born Again, where he's clearly still a murderer, still wanted for all of his murdering crimes, whilst people were just sort of like letting him off the hook to some degree, because they go, man, he's killing bad guys, he's leaving him alone for now. But why on earth would he be driving around in a van with his fucking logo on the front of it?
Maybe that's the
biggest...
red herring, though.
What? So they aim at the front of his car?
No. Like they've already checked it, and somebody else was in the car. So then every time he drives around, they just go, "Oh, it's that guy," and it's not the Punisher though. Don't look.
Oh, why would he do something so stupid as to have his own fucking logo on the front?
Exactly.
Like, surely all you've got to do is just go, there he is, pull him over, arrest him. There you go.
He's got this. This is one of the Fisk's task force. This is one of their old cars. I need to wash it off.
Yeah, maybe there's like 400 other SUVs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's just like just loads of random ones.
It's just like that was just a thing where I was just sort of like, I know that, like, you know, when it would have been in a cartoon or when it would have been a comic or when it was a toy, you need the thing on the front so you know that it's not just a random blue or black van. He's very established in this as a mass murderer. That logo isn't something like, oh, thank God the Punisher's here. You'd be like, oh, God, no one really trusts it. Like, he's going to shoot everyone if we're not careful. You know, have you got any stolen MP3s on your phone? Bang.
I just stolen MP3s. I saw a video the other day.
It's just a silly choice, and I don't understand it. And I wouldn't have clocked it until it was sort of like did like an overhead shot, and it was just clearly like on the bonnet, and I was like, "What are you doing?" That means he's purposefully gone and done that, and then he's got the balls to stand in front of people and go, "You think this is a lifestyle choice? You painted it on your fucking car, mate. Of course it is. You've accepted this role."
After he's Jumanji'd his fucking house.
I love that. It's just sort of like, I'm surprised that any of those got the drop on you, because what the fuck? So, yeah, like throwing your senses out to then trip over a million traps. Yeah. Great.
I mean, to be fair, it's her that sets it off, not Spider-Man.
I think he probably would have stumbled over it, wouldn't he?
But there was a video, I haven't watched it, but I saw it pop up on YouTube, and it's, I think it's a lawyer person, but he's basically going through how much prison time Frank would get for everything that he's done.
Is it like 10,000 years or something?
Yeah, it's gonna. As I haven't watched it, but it popped up on the like recommended thing.
Oh,
that's
like
a fun idea. That, yeah. I'll see if I can find it and send it over. But yeah, I think as a film, I think it was excellent. I really enjoyed it. MJ basically telling him, "Well, you should have come and found me immediately."
He made the right call.
Good parallel though with Gamora, where after a bit when she's explained to me, and she's just like, "That's not me."
Yeah,
that's a different.
Like, you're trying to force the relationship you've got with a version of me that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
like, there's no good. Yeah, you're right. Like, you go, here's the letter. We were just in like mad danger together, and you've just forgotten. However, here's this letter. You need to read it. You'd be like, whoa. Why are you forcing this onto me?
Yeah.
And then, like, when she stumbles across it, and she's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" It's like, what would you have said if I'd done?
Yeah.
If I walked into that coffee shop and been like, "Bang, here's the deal," you'd never would have believed me for a start. It's literally that episode of Rick and Morty. You know when Morty gets like the save point device.
Yeah.
And he keeps resetting, and then he meets the girl, and he goes, and he's fallen in love, and blah 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 blah. And then Jerry presses it and resets him back to before, like literally just as he's meeting her. And then he's sort of like blurting it out. It's like, "Oh my God, and we're in love," and blah blah blah. And she's like, "What the fuck, man?" Like, that's just there's no right or wrong in that situation. But then they've also then gone with Ned and just gone, "Oh, it's all right because he did the magic handshake." So I can only assume that that's because he's got some magic in him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
He's able to sort of like see through the memory wipe or whatever, which fine. It's the equivalent of Magneto just moving a chess piece and then cut to black. It's sort of like it's a fun thing to just sort of we'll just have someone remember who he is so he doesn't feel alone forever, because all the other Spider-Men are just moping around miserable because everyone's dying. It's just nice to have, like, he's got a mate and then his mate doesn't remember him. It's like, oh, come on, give him a break. Everyone's dead or doesn't remember him.
But that's Spider-Man's like shtick though, isn't it?
I've got to take it on the chin and move on to the next one because
everything's depressing, even in like saving Aunt May's life, and he has to give up. Like Mephisto makes him. He wants. I mean, the wording of it's stupid because he's just like, "What do you want to save May?" And Mephisto's like, "I want your marriage." And like initially, just like, so he wants to marry MJ or he wants to marry Peter, but he's just basically he just wants to take their happiness. So it's the same kind of thing. They both forget that they're together kind of thing. Yeah. And this is not that obviously. This isn't the first kind of thing that kind of thing's happened. But I think the only explanation is, as was demonstrated in No Way Home, magic. Ned has got magic abilities, and that's got to be the only thing that. Because there's no other way you'd remember. Like the hand thing, maybe because it'd be muscle memory. It's just like instantaneous, but knowing just go, Peter, that doesn't seem right because like the last time those two spoke, he made up a name. Like I can't remember what the name was he made up. It's like Malin or something like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
At the party.
But, does that though mean like because that could be an interesting one where you could say, okay, well, you remember because you've had some sort of like protection maybe from this spell, or you say the right trigger phrase, or you just sort of, and it's like, oh my god, and it breaks it. Does that not mean then you could just go back to Doctor Strange and just be like, all right, let's just do a thing and you'll definitely remember me because you're more powerful than this guy?
Maybe. I mean, could you not just get Jean to just plant the memories into MJ's head?
Oh yeah, that's what you want to get the mutant girl and just be like, make her love me.
No, I'm not saying make her love you, just go, if you want to, you can. Here's the memories.
Well, not really, because extract them from him and put them back into her.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems. Also,
I'm not saying it's a good idea.
No. But if he could get Strange to remember and then go, cool, right, now that you remember, can you make this like select group of people, like maybe the new Avengers, maybe my girlfriend, maybe make them all remember who I am, just so that all of that comes back, and then everyone else is all still not remembering me.
Because that's a good point. Like all of the stuff he's done previously, including saving the world multiple times, but going like fighting Thanos on Titan and stuff, and all the stuff going on in Wakanda, it's like nobody knows about it.
Yeah, like no one's.
It's a really big thing, isn't it?
It really is, and it must be really annoying him, frankly. Like, guys, I could really help, but you don't know me, so. Yeah. Also, Yelena. I cannot have you sitting there saying, sorry, your spider shit is small potatoes. I only deal with big potato stuff anymore. How about when New York got frozen? Where was your big potato moment then? How come you didn't fly in and go, interesting. Like cars have smashed out of the sky. Like everything's just stopped in a big bubble. But he's probably got it. It's fine.
Also,
like I know that you're imminently going to be dealing with like the Fantastic Four or whatever else, but that's still kind of a big problem. And also, not on another planet. It's like across the road.
Across the road.
Like you could see it from your tower. Maybe not in the baths where she is, but someone would go blub 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 blub. Oh, all of time's frozen in like a kilometre radius of this one thing. Should we go and check it out? Maybe. No, it's all right. Spider-Man and the Punisher on the scene. They've got it.
But that's an all right thing to say, though. If Sentry was saying it, and he's just like, "This is all street level. You deal with this, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'm the strongest, like fastest, most powerful. Yeah. But basically a god. You like Spider-Man could flick Yelena and kill her.
Yeah, exactly. Like, she could use her, mad hacking powers? That's going to do fuck all against Jean Grey, isn't it?
That's annoying. It annoys me, like X-Men stuff, and it's just like the people are just like, fuck you freaks. No, you wouldn't, in real life, you wouldn't say that you shouldn't say that to anybody anyway, but you wouldn't say that to someone who can get claws out of their hands, or shoot lasers from their eyes, or set on fire and whatever.
And as far as you're concerned, they will.
Exactly.
You think that they're this infinite danger. Well, you're going to go to the face and say, you should not be here. But you think that they're just going to tear you apart.
Yeah.
So why take the risk?
Yeah, be nice to them. But do you reckon they'll tackle that in the X-Men, like whatever the X-Men will be in the MCU? Do you reckon they'll tackle that? Because I've never understood or agreed with. Everyone's just like, yay, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Captain America. All the Avengers are cool. Mutants, boo!
Boo, we hate you. Get in the sewers, boo!
And I can understand, and again, this is more of a...
But it would have to be, because you couldn't have that same mentality. Because in any of the iterations of... Well, it's certainly the live-action stuff that's been so far, they're the only thing.
Yeah.
So there's humans and there's mutants, and people are just sort of like, I don't feel very comfortable. These people can just set things on fire whenever they want to. But you go, okay, well, you that can grow bones out of your hands. Are you more dangerous than this guy who can build missiles and, suits of armor that can vaporize cities? No, he's definitely a bigger threat, so I'm all right with you. You'd have to go, well, maybe if we weren't in such a cool superhero woke culture that we all know who they all are and we're all right with it, and we've all gone through a dozen alien invasions and we're all right. You're a mutant? Sweet. You sound like you're way easier to control than some of the other shit that we've had to deal with.
Well, even like Homecoming, like there's a guy like when you got the robbers in the bank and they've got like the Avengers masks on. One of them's got a Hulk mask, so all of the damage that the Hulk's done, he's still got merchandise.
Yeah. Everyone's like the Spidey suits and everything all over the place. Like no one's that bothered. So unless the X-Men are blamed for something, so like let's say there's a Brotherhood thing, where it's just like all mutants forever, fuck all the humans because mutants forever, and the X-Men are like, no guys, we're not like that. And they're like, well, do you know what? We're lumping you all together. Sokovia Accords. Blah, 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 blah. Then you sort of like, it's them trying to undo.
That seems more likely.
Bad mutants rather than just sort of like, we're mutants, and everyone going, nah, we're not into that.
Yeah.
Like,
because that was the thing, though, wasn't it?
It's based around a guy who was injected with the thing that turned him into a super soldier.
Yeah.
But these people who, they can jump really high, and that's it, and they just want to go to school, that's the problem.
Even like Mr. That's another thing. In the Doomsday trailer, M'Baku is bigger than the Thing.
Maybe he's been just eating loads of those like purple flowers. It's just like keep them coming.
This is like I don't know how tall either of them are, but like it's. I'd say M'Baku's taller than you. And the thing is, like the thing is like 5'6" or something like that. Like there's a big difference, and they're like shaking hands.
Yeah.
And things should be a lot bigger than that.
Maybe it was a perspective thing, and he was actually like 10 feet the other way, and he had to shake his hand like really, really close just for the press shot that they were doing.
But again, though, like because in that universe there is just the that we know of. There's just the Fantastic Four. And everyone does love them.
Well, you say that, but it's probably anything. So, like, there's the mole people and all that sort of stuff. So, presumably, anything that's within the Fantastic Four realm probably exists to some degree there. But it would be like they would probably be the most powerful things, wouldn't they?
I'd assume so. Like in terms of strength, intellect. Obviously, Johnny's powers, Sue's powers. Well, Franklin.
Yeah, well,
Game over.
Franklin is literally a world reality-ending being. Yeah. To be fair though, he's old hat, like a baby that can just break reality. He's like, yeah, fine. We've got a guy that's on our side. He's like in control of time, so don't worry about it. Like, we can sort all this out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But do you think there'll be that conversation where they are? What's the difference? What's the difference between an X-Man and an Avenger?
I only at the point where they become the X-Men, like because then you need to determine as to what the media response is to it, and if everyone's sort of whinging about them, why, on what grounds? People are like, yeah, Daredevil, revolution for Daredevil, but if these guys who are just penalised for absolutely no reason, boo, get in the bin.
It's always in the bin with you.
It's easier than just like there's always bins. There's bins everywhere.
Yeah, it's easier than murder. So.
But I thought when they were doing the sort of when they had Jean in the chair and they're kind of like forcing her to do jumps. I got the impression that they were building Cerebro because they were directly controlling her mind. And that's why maybe I'm leaning on something that I've thought now. But if Xavier ends up like co-opting damage control or like saving all the people from damage controls
who've been captured and stuff,
or whatever, that he's seen technology that can affect telepaths. Maybe he was like he helped build it, or Hank helped build it, or whatever, and he can then use that to communicate with others
find other mutants.
That
would actually be a cool little twist.
Because it's the sort of the flip of what they were doing with it in the other X-Men films, where the military used Cerebro or they made Charles use Cerebro to kill the mutants. So instead, it's a weird mutant psychic control machine, but he then turns it into something useful to help the mutants. But again, why else would they just have a room that can control psychic people and like trigger psychic events unless they had some element of control over the psychic ability?
Maybe that's what it was doing.
Well, they were for, like, she wasn't doing that voluntarily, was it?
No, I say it was being triggered, and they'd already obviously this was finishing what Sarah had started before. Obviously,
I know, yeah, but
she
again,
died.
she wasn't volunteering to build a machine to.
No, but that's what I mean. Like whatever they've done, they built for her sister. She died. They've carried on with Jean, but I'd assume that's all destroyed now.
I mean, she did quite a good job of blowing everything up.
And he's on the run as well.
You back it up on the cloud, mate.
It's on the Google Drive. It'll be all right.
It's just on the damage control Google Drive. It's a big account.
I reckon that'll be the end of the Department of Damage Control, and we'll see them again.
I mean, it's pretty fucking public, that, isn't it?
But that's what I mean. Like everything they've done, like the main guy is on the run, like in hiding. But I reckon it'll be rebranded, and we'll get like Bolivar Trask and stuff in.
Yeah, Trask would be like, yeah, I can take this technology and just turn it into, that mutant. Look what she did.
Yeah.
Well, how about we use some of this tech to try and keep an eye on them, because clearly they're a bigger problem and they're not as controlled as other metahumans that are mooching around.
Yeah.
So, that seems like a good enough starting point, because now everyone, if they were to, they sensationalize it and go, mutant, freezes half of New York and blows up a building.
Shot Spider-Man.
And inevitably got Spider-Man shot, and you all like him, don't you? And therefore you go, okay, well, mutant, attack, disaster. And that's, again, they play up to that with the Brotherhood, where they're sort of like they're performing attacks, and it's just mutants that are blamed. And it's only like after years and years of sort of like, no, look, how many times do we need to fucking save you to prove that it's not us, it's definitely them? But I think that maybe if that's the brush that starts getting mutants tarred with, then you go, well, who's actually a mutant? And, the mutants, we can't trust them. The people that are given powers, those are the ones we can trust.
That's the good line from season 1 of X-Men 97 when Magneto's at the hearing. And then I forgot his name. I think Black Hood or something. It comes in when he shoots Storm and takes away all the powers. And then Magneto flies all the senators and people up to the top, and it gives that big speech. But it's like, don't let me let you down. And he's just like holding them up in the air. And I don't think we'll see that in obviously the X-Men film, but there will come a point, as you've just said, where how many times can we save you before you realise that we are good? But I don't know. Obviously, we're not going to say in the first one, but how long do you reckon this will get? Like the mutant saga will be in order to get to that point? Because obviously, Spider-Man's all right because he's what 9 films. Spider-Man, his own, and then Avengers stuff.
Yeah, but if you think as well, like how many of the sort of the heroes that they have on Earth were born with abilities, and how many of them are actually given them? Like, there's not many. You take out like Thor or whatever as like aliens. So any aliens, that's just normal for where you are. But of the human people, it's all it's radiation, it's magic, it's chemicals, it's technology, it's science.
Yeah.
Like, how many are just sort of like born and then bang, they're all powerful because that's just who they were always supposed to be? Name me one, because I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Jean Grey.
But that's what I mean. Is she the first?
Well, I mean, Kamala Khan. Are we counting Namor?
I mean, it depends. Like, because
he's not an alien.
He's not an alien, but in the same way that a fish is as alien to a monkey.
Yeah.
Like,
so he's not
they're
human.
Just from such different worlds that maybe. But again, if you're looking at this from the sort of the prejudice side of things, of just sort of like, well, a human shouldn't be born with these kind of abilities. Being given them, creating them, accidentally getting them is a different matter. But being born with them, we're not cool with that. We're not okay with that. Then you've already got kind of like, and then again, you just sort of like get the media, or you get someone who's like a damage control person who's just sort of like, push that hard in the media, make sure that people hate mutants because
have that agenda.
They're just born differently. All our heroes, they've earned their powers, they've earned their respect, and they've earned their whatever.
Do you know how many weapons Tony had to sell to terrorists?
Like downplaying literally, oh, well, that guy was a murderer and he was a soldier and she's an assassin and all this sort of stuff. But you just go, you're born human, then you get your powers, not you have your powers just because you were born. And then it's the separation of species, and then you get your conflict.
You reckon we'll get Avengers versus X-Men?
I don't know, or they just don't go over it because they're just like, look, this world is too used
They
to
have
aliens
to.
and magic.
That's the
magic
X-Men
and
thing,
mad
though,
and
isn't
stuff.
it?
But that's exactly it. It's built on
it's racism, isn't it?
And exactly. It's prejudice. It's at its absolute core. It's the people being penalised for literally nothing than just how they were born. So to take that message away, then you just lump them all together with the others, don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, even in this, like Wanda and Peter, they were given their abilities. They weren't born with them.
But it was that was retcon, though, wasn't it?
It was, but canonically, that's still, although
because they changed it in WandaVision, so all the stone did was trigger it, like it was already inside her, and the stone triggered it. Whereas obviously in Age of Ultron, we were led to believe that they were given the powers.
Well, they were experiments, weren't they?
Yeah, and the reason I have, because in the comics they're born with the powers, the mutants, the Magneto's
Standard
kids.
Mutants.
But because Fox still owned the rights, no, how did it work? Yeah, Fox owned the rights, so they basically changed it so that they weren't mutants anymore, and they wasn't even Magneto's kids. Then Disney got the rights again. Well, again, they got the rights, and then it was retconned. It was retconned in the comics, and it was retconned in WandaVision, specifically with Wanda in WandaVision, not Quicksilver, but assumingly the same because they're twins.
Yep.
So, so they are still mutants again.
Right. Okay.
So technically, they're your first ones.
Which is fine, except one's already shot to death, and the other one captured a town.
Yeah, and she's presumably dead. Probably not, but presumably dead.
Presumably dead after killing a lot of people as well.
Well, we have to assume that Xavier he's already around.
Yeah, but then it's always the age old. Well, where the fuck were you, mate? What have you been doing?
Napping.
I reckon he would have been like, if they would have nabbed him like early on, like if they've got like a psychic meter and just went, fucking hell, get that guy, and they've got him in a tube somewhere, and they can go, we've kept him locked away because he, as with all mutants, are just a massive problem.
I mean, maybe that could be the antithesis of once he gets out, he's like, I need to do something to prevent this from happening to other mutants.
Yeah.
I'll form a team.
Yep. Or maybe a team that's basically go, well, how about like the Avengers? They're a symbol for good and hope, and people love the Avengers. How about we just have something like that that's specifically mutant based? And when people see us doing good in matching uniforms, and they see us out, and they then associate the two together.
Or it's all multiverse stuff.
But that seemed like the easier way of doing it, didn't it? Just sort of like just a universe imploded and they all got spunked into ours, and then bang, there you go. There's all your mutants. So you don't need to do any bullshit with building up our origin stories and explaining as to why they've never existed.
They wasn't here, now they are.
Yeah, exactly. You just go boop, and then, or with the TVA just goes, well, this universe is going to explode, but all these mutants are actually really useful. So
yeah, slap them in there.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it could be that. I mean, it could be like Jean Grey's her and her sister have already been here for 4 years.
Well, exactly. Who knows? But it's just that it'll be, whoever gets it'll be the big headline grabbing, mutant goes mad. That's the thing that will then go, well, all mutants are bad then, aren't they? Mutant goes mad, mutants are bad. There you go. There's your tagline. And it's then the Avengers or whoever going, well, maybe they are. Maybe we need to keep an eye on them. And then that's where you get your Avengers X-Men thing before they all go, oh, wait, no, it's all right. You just penalised.
We're all mates. but we don't answer to fucking no one, unlike you governmental lackeys.
Do you know what it would have been a great way for them all to team up? Doomsday.
I mean, technically they are.
Technically they are, but also technically they're not.
They're different. But do you reckon that, like, so we already know,
Mate,
like...
you can't have Cyclops in his full fucking outfit who was like, oh yeah, I've just been around the whole time. It's fine.
No, but obviously, because this is a more multiversal thing, because I still think that, like, the X-Men, like the Fox X-Men, are working with Doom, because he's told, basically he's gone, this shit's going to happen, I am a good guy, blah, 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 and then they'll fight the Avengers, and then they'll go, wait, no, these are the good guys, and then they'll work together. That's what I reckon will happen. But
no, in Deadpool and Wolverine, though, it had already been established that universe has been destroyed.
That one, yeah, but there's more. There's multiple different universes. So there's still Scott Marston's Cyclops still exists somewhere else.
Yeah.
And because that particular universe was Black Leather. This one is obviously got his comic accurate one. So this could even be a live action 97 universe or something like that.
Yeah.
But at what point so who's in this one? So Thor and that's in it. So when we do get Cyclops and he meets Thor, like new Cyclops in the like X-Men movie, and he meets Thor, isn't Thor's like, hey, I fought with when you're all grown up or in a different universe, or I know what your powers are, even though we've never met. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be an issue.
It's just that it's out in like what, 6 months?
Towards the end of the year, I think it's November. I think Doomsday.
Yeah, but then there's nothing else that would preempt it. Which that's fine. It could just be they go 3 hours and we'll cover it all. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
That's fine. It's just that it will be like, how do you just sort of smush all of this together?
Well, we got the re-release of Endgame that's got extra scenes in it that tie directly into Doomsday.
I didn't know about that.
We talked about it on the podcast.
Is that going to be on Disney Plus?
No, it's at the cinema.
Oh, come on. Well, as long as it gets to Disney Plus, that's fine. That's where I'll watch it. I'm not paying them to go back and watch a film that I've already seen, because now it ties into another film that I've got to go pay to go and watch.
But how much do you reckon will tie into it, though?
I don't know. I mean,
it's a long film already.
They did the Snyder Cut, and they just went, well, there's 6 extra scenes that kind of make you go, oh, yeah, okay, that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, better be better than that, though.
But it would be, it's either footage that's already shot, which means that they were planning it 8 years ago. Which
they wasn't.
No. Or it's all either ADR'd, so they've changed text, they changed voices from just like random shit that was just filmed as separate B-roll or whatever.
They'd have filmed it alongside Doomsday, wouldn't they? They'd have just done the scenes then.
Yeah, there'll be some exposition that they've attributed to go, and then get an extra that we can afford to come in and go, oh my god, you mean like Doctor Doom? And then they just sort of like go back into the shadows. Like, I just don't see how they can do it without like complete reshoots, which means that you've got to get them all back in whilst they're filming Doomsday to then go, right, now we've got you back in the studio and you've got the outfit on. Your shift is finished, but can you go do 20 minutes and just say a couple of lines over there so that we can re-release it and you'll get an extra 50 grand out of that?
Do you reckon it'll just be like the same, like, what is Endgame, like 3 hours? I can't remember. It's quite a long film.
I think with like credits and everything, probably, yeah.
Yeah, just say 3 hours.
It's pushing that just the cinematic release, yeah.
But there's, like, we go to the cinema to see it, this re-release, and it's just the whole film as it was, and then instead of a post-credit scene, it's just got Elsewhere, and then it's just Doctor Doom sat on a throne, and then that's it.
I know, I reckon the only change is that it'll do all the credits, everything's the same, and then it'll say, the Avengers will return in Avengers Doomsday. And they go, got it. We told you years ago it was going to happen.
It'll be like a sort of like one of the back ends of the film. It's not a post-credit scene, but one of the back ends of the film of Endgame. It's Stark, like as a Force ghost, basically. Basically, because what he didn't want to do a lot of the time heist stuff in case it erased Morgan.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be too much of a stretch if this is a Tony Stark variant that's not called Tony Stark, because they have confirmed he is called Victor Von Doom, but where the reason he becomes Doom is because whatever the Avengers did with the time heist erased his family.
It still could be the Victor Von Doom from the Fantastic Four's Earth, though.
Just looks like Tony Stark.
But yeah, I mean, but if he just, he was the ruler of Latveria, because he's like Latveria is shown in the Fantastic Four steps.
Yeah.
But when they're going off and doing multiversal travel, he does the same thing or whatever, and ends up stuck in a loop where he's just stuck in a power dimension for 1,000,000 years, which is why he's now unbelievably powerful. Or something, some variation of that. So that's why you get the Fantastic Four. They followed him here because he's causing all kinds of fucking chaos across the the multiverse. So it's that one that's then just got mad powers and come over because he was sick of seeing the Fantastic Four all over everywhere, and he was on the fucking news and everyone loves him, and I'm not having any of it because I'm a dictator. And then he goes off and does his own mad shit, ends up destroying universes, and then ends up on ours. They follow him. There's your team up.
I mean, to be fair, like if it goes down the route of, do you think we'll get Battle World leading into Secret Wars?
What's that?
So Battle World is you got like incursions and stuff happening, and Doom figures it out, and the same way that they do explain in Deadpool and Wolverine, where one universe, once it starts, one's got to like. They both can't because they'll just implode in both universes or die. So you can get rid of one and save the other one. But it's Doom that figures that out. So basically, he creates this world called Battle World, and it's got different portions. So like you can be in one bit where it's just like Arctic conditions and everything else, and then you walk a bit further and it's fucking desert. And stuff.
Isn't that what they did in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2? Where it was just sort of like, it was just this bunch of all these different cities and stuff all
effectively, yeah. But he does that, so he saves the ones he can save, and he destroys the ones that he has to destroy. Yeah. And that's how you get Battle World. And then he reigns over it. But in this, like, he is like God Emperor Doom by this point. So he's got the Beyonder's powers and everything else. If you
imagine this is what Kang should have been, where he's got like infinite power. Yeah.
So he probably already is God Emperor Doom by this point. But Sue is his wife because he's like brainwashed her and everything else. And then leading into Secret Wars is where Spider-Man gets the black symbiote suit. But obviously they do connect closely. But that would also explain why, like, the X-Men and the Avengers are fighting. Because if incursions are going on and it's just like, well, we want to save our fucking world. Well, we want to save our fucking world. So it could be this equivalent of Battle World, maybe.
Maybe it's interesting. I mean, it's weird that there's like, again, I'm trying not to look at anything to do with it, but it could just go so many different directions. This could be a massive swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Like they go, we need to recreate Infinity War, and then they just fucking fluff it.
I think they can pull it off. It's just whether they will.
Think the amount of people that they've already put into it, clearly they've invested so much money. It's going to make its money back, no problem. But it feels like that this is the one we go. No, people are sort of like losing faith in this. There's so much saturation in this market. We need to get people back on track. This is going to be the one. We've had to like change position, like change course because once we lost Kang and they just didn't recast. And I can't believe that those two things aren't associated. They didn't just go, we'll just do a bit in Loki, we'll do Quantumania, and then that's it. We won't do that again. Like it was all tied together.
That's another scroll thing. Every time you mention Kang, there's like, fucking hell, reset the clock.
I'm fine with that. Like if this is the way they want to go instead, and instead it's going to be just finally we beat him, and then it's like another Doombot.
Yeah.
And it was never actually Robert Downey Jr. Doom. Because now we can't afford him. So now it's someone else who was actually doing all along.
I mean,
there's a lot that can happen with it, and I don't really want to keep on banging on about it, frankly.
No.
Because one, that's not what we're here to talk about, and two, I want to go and have some dinner.
Exactly. So we're gonna call it there, though. That's all I had anyway, so that worked out rather nicely. So long and short of it, we both really enjoyed Spider-Man Brand New Day. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it because it's fantastic. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Thank you for listening.
Yes.
Thank you for joining. If you want to see more, you can go to podcasters.blade.com. It's all going along the bottom of the screen. And we'll see you on the next one.